So next up, we have phase one with presented by Jerad Speigel.
All right, can everybody hear me? I've got Rick Ebbison coming up as well. We're going to talk a little bit about USDA. Real quick, there are many in the room who probably have heard of phase one, several probably who have not heard of phase one, so just kind of a thumbnail of who we are. I came out of a background in high tech, and my business partner, Thomas Truhoff, is in the room, robotics and telecom and a variety of industries around town and around this nation. And when 9/11 happened, we moved into DC to make a difference. And that idealism still resonates throughout phase one as an institution. We've long been firm believers that this town does some of the most important work in the world. We serve the people that need it throughout the country. Some of the agencies that we serve in serve some of the people that are the most needy in the world. And as such, our employees take the mission very, very seriously, and we're committed to transformation all across this town because we know when we change this town, it changes the world. Phase one as an institution has been around for a long time, but we've made a dedicated commitment into the platform space here over the last several years. I believe there's a watershed moment going on here with digital and with application layer transformation. I like to say that the next 5 years are going to be vastly more interesting than the last 15 years. When you think about the application layer, there hasn't been much that's been done to transform it. And here we are with a moment in time with technologies like Salesforce that are going to completely revolutionize the way that we do application delivery and deployment in this town. Nothing short of total transformation is what I expect over the course of the next 5 years. And so when we talk at phase one, we talk about the $79 billion IT application market and making it a $20 billion IT application market. We want to be massive disruptors and see, overall budgets have to go down because we've got the ability to save so much money by using these platforms that are modern, are more secure, they're easier to deploy, and really for the first time ever, we've got a way to address massive mission systems within these agencies. And I think it's just a radical moment in time. So when the BPA was awarded, I, like probably several other people in the room, got calls from different reporters, and they were like, what's this? What is this? What is this all about? And I, as someone I think earlier said, fielded, I think it was Brian who said that fielded questions, well, how does this compare to Amazon? And I'll tell you, we serve 45 different agencies in town. I do have other slides. I'll just rail with it. I'm a soapbox guy. So, we serve 45 different agencies in federal, and we sit with lots of CIOs. And I'll tell you, there are so many people who say, we tried Amazon, and we save 5%, or we spend 5% more. And cloud isn't really working out for us. And it's a major challenge to be able to communicate the power of the platform. It really is the first time in over a decade where there's an application architecture difference. And for us, we're excited. We're excited about that challenge, and we're excited about bringing this into the missions themselves. We are over 200 employees, headquartered here in the DC area. Like I said, we work in most of federal civilians. I like to say that you can throw a dart at federal civilian, and we're there doing something, either within major missions or within the CIO hallways themselves. What's interesting is that we have a major investor in Bob Johnson, the first African-American billionaire here in the United States. He's never made an IT investment, and he's never made a federal investment. He's been a massive disruptor in entertainment and media globally with investments all over the world. And he came to us and he said, what can you guys do about federal? What can you guys do? And we laid out this vision of platform as a service, and we laid out this disruptive moment that's about to take place and really just roll through this town. And he said, okay, I'm in. If I give you what you need, will you guys do what you're saying you're going to do? And we said absolutely. And so today we're majority owned by Bob. And his expectation is nothing short of us massively transforming every single agency, working alongside our mission customers all around town. That's the expectation. And when we see him, he says, what have you changed? That's the language. What have you disrupted? And, he's a powerful guy, and I have to have an answer for that. And so day in and day out, we game plan on what are we doing at transportation, what are we doing at Treasury, what are we going to do at VA, all these agencies, what are we doing at USDA? Are we not just taking requirements and building them, but are we working with mission customers to understand, the art of the possible here? Are we taking 5 million hours, of citizen time and getting that down to, 1,000 hours of citizen time? Are we taking 30 steps in a process and getting it to 5? Are we understanding how these technologies can help leapfrog in missions where they're woefully under-supported by technology? And so sometimes it's about the legacy environments changing. Sometimes it's about the fact that as an IT community, we haven't done an awesome job with supporting the missions with these technologies, and now we've got a chance to do something revolutionary. So we're very excited about that. Our claim to fame is understanding the missions directly in so many different agencies. And so as a result, we work intimately with how to improve rail safety, or how to improve, agricultural importation of agricultural products, or how to work with veterans' health around homelessness and issues that we have with homelessness out in the field. So it's field expertise and mission expertise and buying to the missions that our people, day in and day out are committed to trying to change. When Salesforce came along in federal, and I know it's been in federal for a long time, but that hockey stick that Brian spoke about was an awakening that I think is going to continue to steamroll in 16. I mean, kudos to GSA for doing something that I don't think has ever been done before, which is to put together something in this vehicle that I think is going to rapidly increase the pace of adoption and awareness of platform as a service. I mean, something short of that. There's still building after building that I can walk through down K Street and every other street where they don't understand what we're talking about here today. But by the end of 16, I think that CIOs and IT mission organizations are going to realize that this is the path of the future. And this is the more secure path, and this is the path of savings. And so we're excited to be part of that. Our main focus is on the legacy mission system. So you won't hear, we're not going to probably be the ones who come in and say, we're going to do correspondence management for you or EEOC processes and things like that. We really eyeball the major mission transformation. How do we take the most expensive, nastiest O&M systems that are strangling the budgets of the agencies, and how do we chop 50% off of that savings? I was at Digital Service the other day, a couple months back, and they said, what's the one thing we should ask folks? And I said, ask them how you're going to save 50% on your O&M later. Cut those costs in half. And when they say, we can't do it, there starts the conversation. It's just this awesome moment in time where things will become more secure, better for the citizens, and we're going to save half on the O&M budgets all around town, and that's really our charge. And so legacy mission systems are the actual things that are in our crosshairs, and we're excited about that as well. We, like I mentioned, we have work in over 45 different federal agencies. We have a vast array of mission expertise that goes along with this work. I was laughing earlier when the Acumen folks said, where are they? When they were talking about the onshore, I was like, man, I turned around to the PwC and said, they stole my line. So, we are an onshore group. We go to commercial enterprises that are, bemoaning their offshore situations. We're proud that we're here. We tried to partner in with expertise that was here. We have such a passion for the federal community because federal is our focus. And so we tried to design our team to bring in that expertise. So we brought in Vertiva, who's the state and local partner of the West that understands the Western market. If you're not specializing in federal, you don't know that Lakewood, Colorado is the second largest population of federal folks. And they're servicing the West with issues around water management and dams. And we wanted to go out to Vertiva in Colorado and say, help us with the accelerators that will help those folks out in the West. We reached out to Blue Wolf, who at the time was listed as got some award for like the best cloud provider in the world, and we said that sounds good, and Blue Wolf's going to be good, and they were just given the award for the second year in a row, so good for them. But we wanted a global strategic partner that was there because we're cognizant of the fact that we're smaller and we're more nimble, but we know that the scale of the transformation is going to require reach back into organizations, so we wanted to have that. And then we reached into Stony Point. We use them quite a bit, and from a training standpoint, I'll tell you that one of the number one things that we're already asked for around cloud is around training, around governance. help us set up that center of excellence, help us set up how we should engage with our mission customers to change the portfolio, help us set up training programs so our people can understand the art of the possible in this type of stuff. So, there are groups that specialize in give me your requirements and I'll go build it in Salesforce. Give me that form, I'll make that form faster in Salesforce. We're really focused in on the center of excellence construct and how to engage the mission customers in a collaborative and agile way to change the way that they're using IT for their mission. Everybody that has spoken has this exact same slide, so I guess we're all in the same place. I don't know. So we have a lot more to go through. But I think what's really cool, so when I first came to town after 9/11, I was very dismayed by seeing the way that the vendor community treated the federal customers. I found it to be shocking and repulsive. And I said, we're never going to be like that. And my business partner, Thomas, who came out of Palo Alto, he said, we need to adopt a white glove service model. We used to have these slides, like a guy with a white glove, like a butler. And, our mentality has always been that in every single agency, we don't need a sales team. What we need is high-quality customer relationships where delivery will bring us into new environments. And so, our work at Forest Service led us to DOI, our work at DOI led us to EPA, and so forth and so on. We're in a trusted capacity working side by side, treating customers with respect. And I think that the federal missions need that, and the federal workforce demands it and should expect it, and so we're excited about that. What's interesting, and I didn't expect this coming into federal, was the amount of synergy between organizations. The water management folks at U.S. Geological Survey connecting to water quality folks at EPA. The synergies between missions, the President Obama spoke a couple of State of the Unions ago about the salmon, the salmon issues with commerce and all that. But there really are these synergies between missions. And so we take great pride in working collaboratively in a flat structure inside of Phase 1 so that we can connect those dots. But the same things that we're doing over at USDA on APHIS with importation of goods and licensing and permitting are the exact same things that Food and Drug Administration needs. And so understanding and having intimacy with the actual missions themselves and connecting those dots in a flat way and with a flat structure allows us to carry those things forward. Big bureaucracy, some of this stuff gets missed, but in our nimble organization, we're able to be able to connect those dots. And so that's been served us well as we deal with the homelessness issues at HUD and how they connect to VA, or the water quality issues that I talked about, and so forth and so on. You see similarities in missions where really the missions need to work together to maximize the impact on the citizen. And so the Salesforce implementations that we have that are connecting between cabinet agencies and connecting missions together between cabinet agencies, these are the things that I think are radical next steps for the entire town. So we're very excited about that.